Hey guys, all right, so this is for example number two. This video is for example number two on solving a system of equations with both a parabola and a line. So here we are, we're going to graph this first parabola of number two, or graph the parabola of number two. And here we go, we got the parabola, and now we're graphing the line. And we have two intersection points. Here's our first one here, and that is 1 comma 3. And then our second one, oh, let's see if I could push this down, is 6 comma 13. So again, graphically we can tell very easily what these intersection points are by just looking at the graph, but we need to learn how to do it algebraically. So let's go back and start doing some math. Okay, guys, so here are the two equations that we're going to start solving algebraically. So step one, we're going to set each equation equal to 0, and we can do that because we've got two values that are equivalent to each other. They're equal to each other. So y is equal to y always. Y is equal to y. Always, always, always. Just like 1 is equal to 1, 2 billion is equal to 2 billion, so y is equal to y. So we're simply going to substitute in what y is equal to for this first y. Y is actually equal to x squared minus 5x plus 7. So we're going to put x squared minus 5x plus 7, and then equals, and then the second y. Well, y is equal to 2x plus 1, so I'm going to put 2x plus 1. All right, so we've set each one equal to each other, and now we're going to move everything to the left-hand side of the equal sign. All right, so sorry, that ended up being quite uneven. I've got to move this algebraically over here. So this is being added. I'm adding 2x, so the opposite of that is subtraction. So I'm subtracting 2x. What I do on one side, I do to the other. So I'm subtracting 2x over here. And then I'm adding 1 here. And then to move it to the left-hand side, I do need to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 1 here. 2x minus 2x is 0. 1 minus 1, that's 0. 7 minus 1 is 6. Negative 5x minus 2x is a negative 7x. And I'm sorry, this is a positive 6. And then I have nothing going on with this x squared, so I just bring it down. All right, so I've got this new equation, x squared minus 7x plus 6. And now I'm done with step 1. All right, so now I'm moving on to step 2. And I'm going to be using blue. So I have x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So I first asked myself, is there a greatest common factor? Well, I've got an x here and an x here, but no x here. So can't be pulled out. And the coefficient here is 1, 7, and then this constant 6. I can't pull out anything but a 1, so I don't have a greatest common factor. So I'm going to see if this big X game is going to work. So I make a big X, and what goes up top is our B, which is negative 7, and what goes on the bottom is A times C, so 1 times 6, which is 6. And I actually do. The big X game does work, okay? I could put the 6 here and the 1 here because 6 plus 1 is 7 and 6 times 1 is 6, but I need that negative 7, so it's a negative 6 plus a negative 1 gives me a negative 7, and negative 6 times a negative 1 equals, I'm sorry, negative 6 times a negative 1 does equal a positive 6. So this works. So my factors now are x minus 6 times x minus 1, and that equals 0. Okay? And that's it. I'm done. I'm done with step 2. Now I'm moving into step 3. Step 3 is solve for x. So I'm going to take each one of my factors. My first factor here is x minus 6. So I'm going to say x minus 6 equals 0. And I add 6 to both sides. And x equals 6. All right. So now I have one value for x. Then I take the second factor and I set that equal to 0 as well. X minus 1 is 0. Add 1 to both sides. And x is equal to 1. So I've got the second x value for the second intersection point. All right, now I'm done for step 3. I've got x equals 6 and x equals 1. Now step 4, plug x into the linear equation to solve for y. Okay, let's change colors again. So x equals 6, let's just start off with that first value, x equals 6. I'm going to plug in this value into this equation so I can easily find y. All right, this is my x value. So it's going to be y is equal to 2 times x, and x is 6, so 6, and then plus 1. So y equals 12 plus 1, and y equals 13. So I've got my first point here, my first intersection point, 6 comma 13. This is my first intersection point. And then I'm going to take my second value, x equals 1, x equals 1, and I'm going to plug that into the same equation. Y is equal to 2 times x, or 1 for this part, plus 1. So y equals 2 plus 1, and y equals 3. So this is my second intersection point at 1 comma 3. Sorry, I'm running out of room. All right, so there we go. We've got our first intersection point right here and our second intersection point right here. All right, so work on the rest of the 6, 3 through 8, and it should be due at the end of the class period. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions. Good luck.